Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So how are you doing? Good afternoon. So today we are going to be drafting out a milkmaid dress. So that's what we are going to be drafting out, and we are going to be drafting out the upper part on this pattern paper, and while we'll be drafting out the down part on the fabric. So let's get started with the tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is that I've drawn out a straight line here, which is going to serve as my starting line. So the next thing to do now is to take in my vertical measurements. So now I'm going to be taking in my bust point. So the bust point I'm working with is 10. Is 10, and the under bust I'm working with is 13.5. Then the waistline I'm working with is 16. So I'm going to be adding ½ inch for my sewing allowance. And I'm converting all of this into a straight line. So this is the waistline. So this is the under bust. This is the bust point. So now the next measurement I'm going to be working with is my shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 8 inches. 8 inches. So the shoulder is supposed to be 16. So 16 divided by 2 will be giving me 8. Then I'm going to be coming down here by 1 inch, which is going to serve as my shoulder slope. So I will be connecting this 1 inch here. I'll be connecting it straight to the neckline. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my neck measurement. So the neckline I'm working with is 3 inches. So for the front one is going to be 3 by 3 inches. 3 by 3 inches. So I'm going to be using my armhole curve, curving my neckline like this. Just the way I'm doing it. So after we're done with this, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is taking my armhole measurement. Now to get your perfect armhole measurement, you divide your bust circumference by 6 inches, and whatsoever you get, you'll be adding 1.5, and that's what will give you your perfect armhole measurement. So for this client I'm working with, after dividing the bust measurements and adding my 1.5, I had 7.5. So I'm going to be marking my 7.5 here. So note that I'm placing my measurement under my armhole slope, under my shoulder slope. So now here I'm going to be drawing a straight line. So the same measurement I'm having here, I'm going to be bringing it down here, which is 8 inches. I'm going to be connecting it into a straight line. So I'm going to be connecting this into a straight line. So after I was done, then we are going to work on the shoulder, on your shoulder here. So I'll be dividing this measurement here by 2, which is going to be giving me 3.75. So from here, I'm going to be coming in by ½ inch. I'm going to be coming in by ½ inch. Now I'll be connecting this here to this line, just the way I'm doing it. Now the reason why I'm doing this is to avoid gaping in your dress. So all the part that you notice that from your dress is going to be bulky around your shoulder. So when you do this, it's going to lie flat and it's going to be perfect. So from this now we'll start working on our dart. So the dart I'm working with is 7.5. So that's around 3.75. So I'm going to bring in it here. I'm going to be placing the same measurement, which is 3.75 here, connecting it into a straight line. So from here now, I'm going to be going in by ½ inch here, ½ inch here. So this is for my darts. So this is for the dart. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is now to bring out the milkmaid shape. So here I'm going to be going up. This is from my under bust line now. From my under bust line, I'm going to be going up by 1 inch. I'm going to be going up by 1 inch, and I'll be using this my armhole curve to curve out the shape here. So this is it for the first one. So now the second part, this second part of the cup. So what I'm going to be doing is the same measurement I took here, which was 3.75, I'll be replacing it here. So you place your tape rule on your dart here. So this is mine here. So I'm going to be connecting this to this line. I'm going to be connecting this to this line. So you use your armhole curve here to do that. So you try to get your perfect shape when you're doing it. So as you can see the way I'm doing it here. So this is it. And now the next thing we are going to be doing is that from this part here, I'm going to be connecting it back to the neckline, and it's going to be the shape of your cup. So here, that's the way I did it here. So this is how simple it is to get your cup for your milkmaid. So we are going to be using the slash and spread method. So we are going to be cutting this out. When we cut out this cup, let me label it, this is the cup. So when we cut it out, we'll be doing this slash and spread on this cup, and we'll be doing it here. Then we'll cut it out. So now let's insert our measurements. So for the bust measurement I'm working with is 9 point. And when you divide the bust measurement I'm working with by 4, it's going to be giving me 9.5. So this is 9.5. So I'm going to be adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance. So it's going to be giving me 10.5. So when you're making yours, you divide your bust measurement by 4, then you place your measurement and you add your sewing allowance. So for the waist measurement I'm working with 26. So 26 divided by 4 is going to be giving me 6.5. So 6.5, I'm going to be adding in my that leg that I took out, that is 7.5. Then I'll be adding my 1.5 inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to be having 9 here. So from this part now, you connect it into a straight line, and then you cut all of this piece out. So look at the way I'm cutting it out, so that you not mistake and cut where you're not supposed to. So you can see the way I'm cutting out my cup. So this is how it's going to be looking. So this was the reason why we went up by 1 inch, so that we can have this shape here. So this is this. I'm going to be cutting this into 2 because we're supposed to have 2 cups. So this is it. So this is this for this cup, this is this for this cup. So we are going to be using slash and spread method, so we can get the full volume we want to gather here. So guys, the next thing to do now is to cut out the back. So for the back, this is the front. Remember, we've removed the cup. So for the back, I'm just placing the front on it this way. I'm supposed to cut out the back before I remove the cup, but there's no problem. So you just stack this down this way. I'm using my pin to secure it so that it can stay down for me to trace it out for my back. So this is this. So now from here, so now you notice that I left a little space here, which is going to be for my zipper allowance. So let me just draw a straight line from here. Okay, now, so this is it. So this is going to be for my zipper allowance. So this is for my zip allowance. So I'm just going to trace this part out here. which is the armhole part that is remaining. So I'm just going to trace this part out here, and I'm going to cut it out this way. Then now I'm fine with this neckline. I just want a straight neckline at the back, so this length is enough for my back. So I'm just going to cut out this part. I hope you understand. So this is for my back. So I said I was okay with the straight, and if you still want to make a little design, you can curve it out, you can make it deeper, you can make it higher, it depends on you. So here I'm going to make sure that this part is equal, so because it has to be equal. So this is it for my back. So the armhole part is equal, and this is my zipper allowance. So this is it for the back. So now let's go ahead and make our slash and spread method. This is the cup. So now I'm going to be using this one instead of this one. So you can use any of your cup, but let me use this one since this one is plain. So let's go ahead and use it. What I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be measuring 1 inch each for the amount of allowance I want. Or you can do as much as you want. You can do 1.5, you can do 2. So if I decide to do 1.5, so you mark 1.5 here. So you keep marking 1.5. So let's say, okay, so I'm using 1.5 now because I want it to have a little bit of volume. So I'm using 1.5 here. So you can see that I'm taking 1.5 all around. So this one is running like ½ inch, so I'm just going to leave it. So I'll label this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to be cutting this out. So each one of these out.
So this is it. This is the 5.
So I'm just going to be using this part of the sheet of paper. So now we're going to be placing it one after the other. So this is the first one. So I'll tack it down. So now the allowance I also want to use here, I want to use around 1.5 also. So I'm going to place in number 2 here. I'm going to be placing number 2 here. So I'll make another 1.5. So I'm going to be placing number 3 here. So I'm making another 1.5. So this is number 5. So the next thing to do is just to trace this out. So you can see me using my pen. So from here you just trace it out carefully. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So you just trace it out carefully. Follow your cup line. So this is it. So I'm just going to cut this out. So this is it for the ones we'll be gathering into the cup. So this is enough volume for me. So so now I'm going to be cutting all of this now on the fabric. So this is for the front. It's still attached to the back here. So this is for the front. So it's this way. So we'll be gathering each part to this part and another one to this part. So I'll be cutting it out on the fabric. So the next video is going to be for the cutting and for the sewing. So guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.